Howdy folks, I'm Brian, and here's some advice. Just to let you all know, I've decided to try and keep a schedule. I plan on posting on Mondays at 1 p.m. Also, thank you to everyone who subscribed this week. We managed to get past 150 members. It was just a few weeks ago when we crossed over the 100-member threshold, so this is incredible. Thank you all for your support. Alright, let's get into it. Our first letter is titled, Will I Be a Jerk for Leaving Without Notice After My Stepdad Took My Door? And this is from Deleted. I'm a 21-year-old female, and I'm staying with my mom, stepdad, and siblings. There's my full brother, 16, my half-brother, 18 months, my stepbrother, 19, and my stepsister, 17. None of us have ever gotten along with our steps, and I'm only staying with them now because I couldn't stay with my flatmate, a nurse, my dad, who's high risk, or my boyfriend, who has roommate problems. Mom lost her job due to the current events, and stepdad has been furloughed. So they asked me and my stepbrother to pay them rent to help cover expenses. They own the house, so this is bills and food, and we agreed to each pay £400 a month. All my siblings here are full-time, as my step-sibling's bio mom is high risk. My stuff in my room keeps going missing / being moved by people who aren't me. I have proof it was my step-relatives, though they claim innocence. There's also been a knocking issue which 3 days ago resulted in my stepsister walking in on me with a video call with my boyfriend, which was both embarrassing and a mood killer. After that last thing, I ordered a lock online, and yesterday I fit the lock on my door. My stepdad tried to stop me, saying it's his house and he's not allowing anyone to have locks on their door. I was a little childish, and I had my headphones on, so I just gestured to my headphones and pretended I couldn't hear him until he got frustrated and left, and I kept on fixing the lock on the door. I offered him and Mum the spare key as a peace offering, but said I'd be keeping the lock for the issue described in the previous paragraph, which led to an argument about trust. Today I had several calls with clients in the office, bottom floor of the house while my room is on the top floor, and told everyone I'd be in there for about 8 hours. I came out of the office at the end of my workday and went up to my room to get changed, and my door was fully gone. I asked what happened, and my stepdad said the door was in his and Mum's room, and the hinges were in the wheelie bin, and that this'll teach me to disrespect him. I can't get the hinges out of the bin, and I can't get my door back upstairs on my own. Due to the layout of my room, there is no longer any privacy unless I do everything, including getting changed, under the bed covers. I'm writing this from the office. I will be sleeping on the sofa in here tonight because at least the office has a door. I have not paid rent for June yet. I complained to my boyfriend about the situation, and he said just to come over to his tomorrow and he'll sort out the roommate. I've packed up my stuff and put it all in my car with the intention of leaving this morning and calling after I've arrived tomorrow to tell people where I am. My brother caught me in the middle of moving stuff and I had to tell him. He then called me a jerk because I wouldn't be helping out for June or giving them time to sort themselves out. And this is my only hesitation, as I do feel bad about this part. Will I be a jerk for leaving and not paying rent? Info: signs of intrusion were my clothes going missing and my stepsister wearing them. She claims that they were in her laundry, but I do my own laundry specifically to avoid my stuff getting mixed in with hers. Various items and sections of my room being rearranged. For example, I have a very specific method for organizing my shirts, and this order was messed up multiple times. Also, snacks and drinks I bought for myself and put in my room were going missing after stepdad and stepbrother complained that I didn't share them with him, even though I had left plenty of snacks in the kitchen but kept a few just for myself because I'm a vegetarian and eat eggs and dairy, but also try to avoid byproducts like certain kinds of food, colorings, oils, and gelatin. Update: at my boyfriend's place, told them where I was. Mum is losing her mind, as is stepdad, and both want me to come back. There was another rant about the disrespect I've shown. Then so I've said I'm not returning. Our first comment is by Taraja. Not the jerk. Leave, don't pay rent, paying tenants get doors, usually with locks. Bella0520 replies, not the jerk. OP go. The previous commenter is correct. If you have to pay, you get a door. Honestly, this is so abusive anyways. I can't imagine taking the door away from a child, and triple that for an adult. Especially an adult that pays rent. That boy is trouble, replies. Paying tenants also deserve to be treated with a baseline level of respect and not punished like a child. OP needs to get out of that situation because it's clear that her stepfather does not see her as an adult or an equal. Linny Fran replies, not the jerk. In my opinion, and I'm a parent, if you pay rent, then you deserve privacy of a door, and the respect of others for stepping up and paying rent. I also think you're doing the right thing by leaving. Katsu Expert replies, this is all messed up. Stepdad tried a power move on a paying tenant, and it backfired. Blade That Cuts replies, "Not the jerk. You are a fully grown adult, and what they did by taking your door was absolutely unacceptable. They're treating you like a child. You deserve privacy, and if they're not going to allow you to have privacy under their roof, then don't worry about leaving when they take it away from you. I would say the same thing if a flatmate did that to you." Edit, I'm a parent and I've threatened to take the door off my 6-year-old's room because he can't be trusted not to destroy things in there with closed doors. You are not a 6-year-old with behavioral issues. Oh my goodness, OP. You are not a jerk. Your stepdad is the worst. You are a paying tenant, and paying tenants not only get doors, but they also get doors with locks. You are doing them a favor by staying there and paying rent. He ruined it with his overinflated ego and by attempting to bend you to his will. The only thing I can really fault you here for is that you didn't give them a heads up, though I can't blame you. When you first discovered your door missing, you should have said, "I'm going to go take a shower and get freshened up. If my door isn't back where it belongs by the time I get done, then I'm leaving and moving in with my boyfriend." Doing this would have allowed them to make things right. Overall, I think you dodged a bullet here. He sounds like a real piece of work to live with. Hopefully your stepdad learned a valuable lesson in treating you with respect, but I doubt it given his attitude. Anyhow, good luck. Our next letter is titled, "Am I a Jerk for Blowing Up at My Dad for Cutting My Hair Without My Consent?" And this is from Kiko speaking. "With everything going on, I'm a 20-year-old female and I haven't been able to get a haircut. This is not a big deal to me because we obviously have more pressing issues at hand. I've been talking about getting my hair cut for a while now. My hair is decently long. For reference, at my annual haircut, I usually cut 4 to 7 inches off and it takes it to just above my collarbone. My mom mentioned that once this is over, I need to get a haircut because my hair was getting split ends. I joked that I might just cut it all off, seeing as we'll be in this for a while, and I want to anyways. My desire to cut off my hair was apparently news to my dad. I haven't been hiding it, per se, but my dad has some opinions about my appearance, so I hadn't seriously brought it up with him. Also, my haircut is my business, especially since I pay for it. Who thought the idea of me getting a short haircut was ridiculous. I kind of laughed it off, figuring he wasn't serious. Tonight, when my mom and I were watching TV together, I had my hair pulled up in a ponytail. I felt something tugging on it, and I heard a rip, and when I turned around, my dad was holding a pair of scissors and 1.5 inches of my hair. I'm normally pretty conflict-averse with my dad because his temper can be pretty unpredictable, but he had been making some really snide remarks this whole month. And if you saw my post about my period pain on this subreddit, he's still asking about my cramps, then getting mad when I reply honestly. And this was the straw that broke the camel's back. I blew up on him, asking him what he thought he was doing, and he said, since I'd been talking about cutting off all my hair, this little bit shouldn't matter. I also started crying because I was really rattled by the whole thing. I called him a jerk, which was admittedly probably uncalled for, and asked him who he thought he was, which brought out the obligatory, "your father," and a lecture about how I was staying in his house / being ungrateful. My mom chimed in and told my dad that what he did was a violation of my boundaries. He kind of sank and told us that he was trying to help and how he started talking about how everything is always his fault. I know that's textbook manipulation, but he also looked genuinely upset, and I think I actually really hurt his feelings. He hasn't come out of his office since. The haircut isn't terrible, like I was able to salvage it, but I'm still pretty shaken. It's less about the amount that was cut off and more about the fact that he felt like he was allowed to do something like that without even asking permission. But I also feel like I might be overreacting. I mean, it's just 1.5 inches. Am I the jerk? Too long didn't read. I mentioned that I might cut off all my hair, so my dad cut off 1.5 inches of my hair without my permission while I was watching TV. Finito here replies, "Not the jerk. What the actual F is wrong with your dad?" Meh, whatever, Zeus replied. "Isn't cutting someone's hair off without permission considered assault in some places? So I'm gonna say a lot is wrong with her dad." Snoopy Brown replies, "I actually hate how many of these posts are a direct consequence of the virus, because so many kids are being forced to move back home with their toxic family, which is causing so many fights, making so many people posting, including OP, feel like they are the jerks for feeling like they deserve the normal human decency of respect, and are asking whether or not they're the jerk for getting angry at incredibly toxic and manipulative actions by their family. Not the jerk, OP. Who thinks it's okay to just cut your hair? Sorry for hijacking the top poster, but I'm honestly getting seriously frustrated at reading these posts about situations that are always 100% the family's fault." T-Lex replies, "Seriously, I'd be beyond angry and shocked. I wouldn't feel bad for him. I think he was perfectly aware of what he was doing and the consequences." Amy Liz 436 replies, "Not the jerk here whatsoever. Do not for a second think that you are overreacting. This is a massive breach of your boundaries and so abusive, followed by him being manipulative and appearing upset. If he is actually sorry, he should get some help because these behaviors aren't normal." As you said, it's not the amount, but the action, which I imagine he knew you wouldn't want, thus why he didn't ask you. I'm so horrified by how awful this all sounds and his view of my house, my rules. No, your body, your rules, OP. No concessions on that. Danny P&K replies, "Absolutely. He violated your bodily autonomy. It doesn't matter if it's his house and he pays for everything. You had a right to get upset." Max William replies, "Also, what's up with the parents using the 'you're living under my roof, so you should be grateful' line? Grateful my butt. You decided, presumably, to have me. Sure, you should respect your parent, but it's not like you decided to spring to life and invaded their home. Always makes me mad when I hear someone say that to their child." Heather Ann, 1975, replies, "He's an absolute jerk. Besides the obvious fact that he violated your boundaries, what kind of haircut is that? Cutting off a ponytail is not a haircut. You clearly had to fix it. Cutting off a ponytail was a sign of power and control. He was not helping, he was not giving you a haircut, he was being a jerk. And to play the victim like he was trying to help. He was not helping, he was playing some power game. What he did was absolutely not give you a haircut, he mangled your hair and was a complete jerk. Not the jerk at all, you had every right to blow up at him." Visual Celery replies, "It sounds like he was trying to punish her for wanting short hair." Chi-Ya replies, OP, don't fall for the guilt tripping. If he truly thought he was just helping, then he wouldn't have done it so sneakily. Him basically snipping your hair off your head is an admission of fault. A dad who is just having normal interactions would have just said, 'I can cut your hair right now if you want,' instead of just doing it." Whole Wheat Butterfly replies, "Jerk isn't even the right word. He just wants to assert power and control over another person. He's not being rude, he's being outright manipulative, asserting dominance on a power trip. He knows exactly what he's doing, even if he's not conscious of it. I know that's textbook manipulation, but he also looked genuinely upset, and I think I actually really hurt his feelings. OP, you misunderstand. This is exactly the point. Most manipulators don't even realize they're being manipulators. They genuinely do get hurt, but that's because at an unconscious level, they have learned that getting hurt like this results in positive response from their environment. Manipulators are rarely consciously malicious. They just don't have the self-awareness to realize they are an abuser. If you were in a corporate environment and your dad was your boss, snipping your hair would be harassment at best. Honestly, I would feel assaulted. For the record, I am a man, if that matters to anyone. Your dad may have complicated feelings, and he probably is feeling genuinely hurt on some level, but there's no doubt in my mind that some part of him is getting his ego stroked by this. Hi OP, you're not the jerk, but your dad clearly is. It isn't normal for someone to cut off someone else's hair without their permission. Even if you told him that you wanted your hair cut, and you were sitting in the hot seat with scissors in his hands, and you said, "Never mind, I've changed my mind," he still wouldn't be entitled to cut your hair. Judging from your other post, your dad is immature, selfish, and manipulative. Further, he is attempting to deflect the blame off himself and guilt you into feeling bad for defending your boundaries. I think your father needs therapy. There is something wrong here. He needs to work out his issues. You should talk with your mom and hold an intervention for him. Hopefully he listens and gets the help that he needs. Anyhow, good luck. Hi folks, next week I might cover her first letter, so stay tuned for that. I read it a while back and it's in my list of threads I was considering covering, but it was beat out by some stiff competition. Let me know in the comments below if you want to hear part 1, and I'll make sure to include it next week. Our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Offering a Drink to a Girl at a Bar and Then Not Paying for It? And this is by Choice Rock. I'm a 23-year-old male, and a few months ago I was at a nice bar in Toronto with my boys and I saw this really hot girl. Decided to shoot my shot, and we spoke and danced for a bit, and I offered to buy her a drink, and she gladly accompanied me to the bar. When I got there, I was like, "Can I have a beer and whatever she wants?" She promptly said, "Can I get 4 double shots of 1942? That's like $75 a shot for a double of 1942. And I was like, WTF, and she said they're for her friends and patted me on the back. When the bartender came back, I slammed a $10 bill on the table and told him that she'd be covering the shots and walked away. She was angry and yelling the normal insults, LOL. Well, it turns out my mom works with her and they were talking and my mom showed her a picture of me and she instantly recognized me and remembered my name and told my mom what I did. My mom then called me and said I was a huge jerk and told me to send her the cost of the 4 drinks, which was like $325 with tips. I just laughed and told my mom that I'm not doing that, and my mom said that the girl thinks I'm a huge jerk and she agrees. Am I the jerk? Amy Liz, 436, says, I was all ready to say that you were the jerk till reading the part where you offered her a drink and she ordered 4. What the heck? Not the jerk. She tried some bull move that you rebuffed. She knew that she was taking the mick when she patted you. I'm impressed with your nerve to straight up reject that and walk away. Side note, hilarious that it still bugs her. Choice Rock replies, I'm not paying $300 plus for shots for a girl I don't know and her friends, lol. Easiest decision ever. And aha, and my mom's like, she's a student, you have been working full time, you should have paid. 69 beers later replies, ordering a single $75 shot after being offered a drink would still be a jerk move. Vulture Trainer replies, not just 4 drinks, 4 expensive drinks. That's a shady move. Who tries to trick someone into buying them 4 $75 drinks? Not the jerk. Cream's World replies, not the jerk. She took advantage of you being interested in her, and that's very rude for her to snitch on you to your mom, like she's a 7-year-old. Hannah replies, not the jerk. She was totally trying to take advantage of a nice gesture. You'd be a jerk if she just ordered a simple drink for herself, but you are by no means required to spend over $300 for her friends too. If anything, she's a jerk expecting you to buy drinks for her whole group. Are we ready for this? Replies, not the jerk, though you should have stopped the barkeep before he had time to pour the drinks. Would have saved him a lot of trouble probably. OP, you are not the jerk and your mom needs to mind her own business. You offered to buy her a singular drink, not her and her friends a drink. The only thing I would have done differently in your situation would have been to stop the barkeeper and tell him, nah, I've changed my mind, just a beer for myself. Take care and good luck. Alright folks, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, consider giving me a like. If you didn't, consider giving me a dislike. Make sure to comment below if you want to hear me read part 1 of the story where the woman got her hair cut, and I'll make sure to include it next week. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all later.